last time we were saying that we talked about shall, should, and out. We said that there are 4 meanings that can be explained using these models. First of all, we've got advisability. And in advisability, we have either affirmative question of advisability, which refers to the future. Shall I pay in dollar? And you have negative question of advisability, and in this case, you use should. Shouldn't you, for example, serve your country? And we also have past, which is negative question of advisability. And we've got statement of advisability, also using should. We talked about obligations. In obligations, we use should and out. These obligations can be either fulfilled or unfulfilled. When we talk about unfulfilled obligations, we can use should, or and in this case, we have, for instance, I should be reading my assignment. This is in the present. I should have read my assignment. This is in the past. Yani, you use have and the past participle of the verb. When you talk about fulfilled obligations, in this case, you don't need a model. You just say he was obliged, or and this is yani, he was obliged to do that, and this is the obligation that he did. Okay, and the next one is the expectation. When you are expecting something to happen soon, here we use should or out. So, for instance, she's very clever. She should pass the exam, or she ought to pass the exam. Then we also talked about chance. Chance, yani, something you might do in case you do it. For instance, when we said, should you go to Washington, don't forget to go to the White House, for instance. Right. The next one that we are focusing today is may and might. There are 2 meanings, 2 major meanings explained by may and might. The first one is giving permission. You all know that you might give a permission to somebody, and we mentioned last time we can and could. We said that we usually give permission. We can use it either can or we can use may. For instance, you may start your class soon, or you may leave now. And this refers, by the way, to the present or to the future. And you also use give a permission related to the past. In this case, you don't need a model. You would say you had the permission to leave. Okay, let's start writing on Microsoft Word. Okay, well, there are 2 meanings, permission and conjecture.
Doctor, can I ask you, please?
Yes.
Permission, it's like يعني request, يعني polite, doctor, يعني with the something is polite that you ask someone with polite.
That's a request, actually. For instance, you remember last time when we said, by the way, Hessa had 2 examples, Mariam, and you can see the difference between them.
Okay, doctor.
May I leave now? Okay. May I leave now? For instance, now you are asking the permission to leave in a polite way. And for instance, your teacher says, you may leave now. You see the difference? You are asking in a polite way for permission. Asking for the permission. But you're not requesting. It's somehow like you're requesting to leave, and this request came in the form of asking for the permission. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Yani as if you are requesting to leave this place, but you are instead of saying I want to leave now, you would say may I leave now. For instance, you are requesting, or you can say, for instance, will I leave the class? Okay, but let me say that instead of saying I want to leave the class, can I leave the class? Now you are asking using may. خدناها بالrequest.
Yeah. Yes, doctor. But I see both of them are similar, so, doctor. I don't know
Here
why.
you are the one. For instance, just like me and you, أنا وأنتي هسه قاعدين بالكلاس. هذا for instance, this is Mariam. Mariam saying that. Okay, this is asking for the request. And this is me. I'm giving you the permission. يعني واحد يسأل for the permission. Okay? And the other one answers the permission. You got it now?
Doctor, يعني he can't يعني for instance I can't do anything if I don't get your permission.
Exactly. Exactly. If I don't give you the permission, for instance, you may not leave.
Okay,
may not
doctor,
leave now.
understood. Thank you.
As it is, for instance, till class time. So either give you the permission or not. In this case, you are requiring to leave, requesting to leave, but in the form of asking for the permission. We were saying that, yeah.
Sorry, doctor.
We were saying that, yep.
There is no I may leave now. You wrote. The first
it is still
sentence. The first sentence.
What is it?
The first sentence. Mariam may leave now.
May I? Oh, sorry. Okay. So you found the difference? In this case, yeah, I was saying that خلونا بس نبتعد عن هذه مالت permission. It's the same. Both of them refer to the permission, but one of them comes in the sort of a question, and the other one comes in a form of statement. Okay. And by the way, this permission can be either for the present, and it comes either for the future. What for the past? Permission, how do we explain it? How do you explain past permission? For example,
Doctor,
you are giving.
when we use had.
Yeah, exactly. Can you
Yes,
give me a sentence?
السيمبل اللي هو موجود you had the permission to leave.
Exactly. Okay. And we can say Sally was permitted to Sally was permitted, for instance, to travel out. Okay.
Can I, doctor?
Yeah, sure.
I had permission to leave the meeting.
Okay, the permission to leave the meeting. Perfect. Do you notice the difference, students? So here, when you are referring to permission, whether this permission is in the present or in the future, you use may. Okay? And when you're talking about the permission which is in the past, you don't need no model. You don't need a model. Okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay, doctor.
Fine. Move now to conjecture. What do you mean by conjecture?
Is there a reasonable case, doctor?
Pardon?
Is a reasonable case? Reasonable.
Yeah, for instance, you are expecting something to happen. Okay? Conjecture can refer to the present situation and it can refer to present activity, conjecture about the future, conjecture about the past. Let's give them just gonna mute this for a short while. All right. In conjecture, we said that you are expecting something to happen. And in conjecture, we can use either may or might. Conjecture is referring to the present time, how we explained it on the board. So we said that there's conjecture about the present situation. For instance, you may need glasses. يعني there is a possibility that you might need glasses. لا يعني واحد رايح للطبيب طبيب قبل لا يفحصه يقول له since you are explaining your difficulty to read you may need glasses. That's the point. And يعني about the present situation, about present moment, you may need to have a surgery. You may need to attend the classes every day to pass your exam. Then we have a conjecture about present activity. And if you notice that about when you talk about the present activity, it's an activity which is continuous. For instance, she might be studying now, or she may be staying at a hotel for other moment, by the way, remember students. And in this case, you need may, might, plus the ing. And you notice that as long as you are using the ing form of the verb, you need be as well as the ing form. In addition to that, can I just finish, please, students? In addition to that, we also have conjectures about the future. And in this case, do you notice that there is no difference in the form between conjectures about the futures and the conjectures about the present situation? The difference lies only in the adverb of time that you add to the sentence in order to make it referring to the future. We'll give more examples shortly. Okay, conjunctures might also refer to the past, and in this case you also use may, might, plus have, plus the past participle of the verb. Okay, do you notice something? Whenever you want to use the past, one of the modal verbs referring to the past, you always use the modal verb plus have and the past participle. يعني كل ما أقول لك فد modal verb وأقول لك use this meaning referring to the past دائما تلاحظون نستخدم might plus the past participle, the modal verb plus have and the past participle of the verb. For instance, I might have lost my notebook in the car. I might have forgotten my glasses at home. I might have been stolen in the supermarket. Okay, let's go back to the examples.
Doctor, can I ask now?
Yes? Yeah, sure.
Doctor, in the fourth point, conjecture about present activity, why we use after may be? Why we put it?
Because the present continuous is always using the as plus the ing form of the verb. Don't you know that? Remember, we always use the present continuous tense using be and the ing form of the verb. That's why دائما لما نستخدم ما تقدرين تستخدمين is because it's a modal verb and the modal verb is always followed by the base form of the verb, I mean of the auxiliary. يعني خلينا بس نكتب هنا.
Okay, doctor.
You got it now, Mariam?
Yeah. Yes, doctor.
Present continuous. It consists of subject plus be plus ing. All right. In case you have the modal اللي هو تتذكرين انه تستخدمين is و am و are, remember? Since you have a modal, you usually have be راح تبقى in the base form, راح تبقى be as it is. You can't change it neither to is, are, it will remain in the base form. You got it now?
Yes, doctor. Thank you.
I'll put it here, most welcome. Right. So, pictures about the present time. Like I said, Susan, Susan is absent today. She may feel sick, for instance. Yani you are thinking that it's probably she is sick. Okay? Anybody can give me an example related to conjectures about the present time?
Can I?
Yeah.
She might need help.
She might need help. It's possible. Need help. She's calling me while she's in the bathroom. For instance, you've got a grandma and she's calling you while she's in the bathroom. She might need help. Okay, that's another possibility. Yes, true.
I may read a book.
For instance, I have nothing to do. And not sleepy. I may read a book. Okay, before I sleep. Okay, when you talk about conjectures, referring to present activity, we said we usually use be and the ing form of the verb. Yeah, we would say, for instance, he is looking for accommodation. Okay. Currently, he may be staying with his friends. يعني ممكن هو عايش حاليا ويا أصدقائه while he is looking for an accommodation.
Can I give you a sentence, Professor?
Sure. Wait just a second. I'm just highlighting. I have nothing. I always make mistakes when I type. Right. Okay, let me just highlight this. This is yellow. Right. Mariam, you wanted to give a sentence?
Me, doctor?
Mariam Yvonne, doctor.
Mariam
Mariam.
Yes, doctor.
Who wanted to give a sentence? Was it Mariam?
Yes, Dr. Mariam Yvonne and me also.
Okay, Mariam and Muhammad. Muhammad after Mariam. Okay?
He's not in his office now. Maybe he may be in a meeting.
Okay. Office now. He may be attending meeting. Okay. Okay. Or holding a meeting. He may be holding a meeting. Okay. Maybe holding a meeting. Right, Muhammad.
Okay, doctor. Let's say it's lunchtime. Ali might be having his lunch.
He might be having his lunch now. So that it's referring to the present activity. Fine. The present activity clear?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Fine. Let's move to conjectures about the future. Like I said, in order to differentiate conjectures referring to the present, لاحظتوا احنا بالبداية قلنا conjectures can refer to the present, and we've got present activity. Let's talk about conjectures referring to the future. And we said that in order to indicate the future time, we need to add an adverb of time. For instance, my dad might leave at 6:30 in the evening. Okay, he might leave another country, for instance, at 6:30 evening. So when I added that time, indicates that this is something that will happen in the future. Fine. Let's give another sentence.
Like tomorrow.
Can I?
Like tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
In the future. Me, doctor. Okay. In the future, we can say
Yeah.
I may be absent tomorrow. Or
Brilliant.
I may,
Thanks. Tomorrow. Okay. So he said she might be or she may be absent. Since when she added tomorrow, this showed that this is conjecture about the future. She's not sure whether she will be absent or not, but it's probably something probable. Let's move to conjectures referring to the past. Past قلنا إنه هو استخدم may or might. You usually use with may and might we use have and the past participle of the verb. For instance, the children are sleeping. They might have had, by the way, هذا tiresome. Where's the past participle of the verb? Had. هنا أنا عندي المين verb is have. من جيت سويت past participle. This is the actual have. هي بالقاعدة. وجيت على past participle of the main verb حولت have إلى had. Okay. And we had طبعا أنا تعمدت إنه أستخدم a sentence with the main verb have حتى نشوف the difference between two. One of them is the auxiliary, which is have, and the other one is the main verb, which is have, and in the past form, which is had. واضح?
clear, doctor. Can I say example?
Give another sentence. Pardon?
I may have read this notes last lecture. In the last lecture, I may have
Can you say it again, please?
read. I may have read
I
the past participle. I may have read this this notes in the last lecture.
okay. Note. Yeah. So she's not sure whether she read this note in the last lecture or not, but she might have read it, or she may have read it in the last lecture. Cool. Next one.
Can I?
Shall we give it?
Can I, Doctor?
Was that Murtada? Was it Murtada?
Yeah. He might
Okay,
have
مرتضى
been.
انت تحضر وياي يا مرتضى، شو ما سمع صوتك قبل؟
ليش أشارك مرة دكتور؟
ما اعرف، اليوم ما حسيتك شفت تعلم جديد عندي.
لا مرات أشارك يعني.
alright. Okay, go ahead مرتضى.
لأنه طلبه هو. He might have been at the library.
He may have
Been at the library.
okay. The library. Yeah, he may have been. That is the past participle form of be at the library, for instance, all day. Perfect. خلونا نتحول على must حتى بالأخير نسوي sort of activity. أعطيكم sentences or أعطيكم meaning and you give me sentences. Okay?
Okay, doctor.
As to must also has 4 meanings. It explains necessity. It explains, by the way, this necessity can refer to the present, can refer to the future, all time, or to the past. And it explains the lack of necessity. Then we can express abstention. We can express deduction. Deduction اللي هي أيضا مثل التوقعات. abstention يعني من تمنع واحد تقول له لازم ما تهمل عيونك، لازم ما تهمل، يعني من تمنع واحد تقول له إنه you are obliged or it's for your benefit not to do that. And usually abstention comes in the negative form. So let's talk about necessity. When you want to express necessity in the present time, the lecture must begin now. Okay? And if you want to express necessity about the future, Mona must leave at 6 o'clock. And you can notice again that as long as you added the time, this shows that this necessity is about the future. Okay, all time necessity, students must prepare for their assignment. يعني it's a general fact, just like a general fact. Like we say, we must stay indoor when it is raining. It's a necessity, which is all the time. It's not about the present moment. It's about a general fact. We must use warm water in winter. Fine. When we talk about necessity, which is in the past, you don't need a modal verb. Just they had to leave the class early. خلونا نتحول لل lack of necessity. You don't need to do something. In this case, does plus not plus have to. لا تشوفوها بالكتاب. Past necessity, it's on page 239. Past necessity, you express it using have to. Because we don't have the past form of must, لأنه ما عندنا past form of must. That's why we use have to. And like we said, have to مالتها الباس راح تصير had to. Okay? We'll give more examples shortly.
Doctor, or time يعني نقدر نستخدمها بالماضي وبكل الأزمنة.
مثل الجنرال فاكت. مثل جنرال فاكت. لاحظي انت بتقولين انه the sun rises from the east. assets on the west. مثل شلون هاي general fact اللي هي حقيقة ثابتة مثل ما نقول.
Okay, doctor. Okay.
That's all time when we talk about all time necessity. Fine. I was talking about abstention. Abstention اللي هي دائما we use it with the negative form. You must not neglect your eyes. You must not break the law. You must not drive without using the safety belt, for instance. And as the deduction can be at the present time, can be at the future, and it can be about the past. Deduction at the present time, she must be reading now. يعني she's very quiet. She must be reading now. That's when you talk about at the moment it's probably that she is reading. That's why there is no noise. And when you talk about deduction in the future, you use ing اللي هو going to. It must be going to rain. دائما نستخدم going to indicate the deduction referring to the future time. Then again, deduction referring to the past. لاحظوا المودal verb we have and been. For instance, he must have been meeting another girl this whole time in the past. Okay? So let's give examples now.
Okay, doctor.
Must. Must referring to necessity, lack of necessity. Must referring to obtention, and must referring to deduction. This is how we memorize the meanings expressed by the by each modal verb. Necessity, we said that necessity can refer to the present time, future, and all time, and past. Present, future, all time, and past. And now we give examples. Present necessity, like when we say we must turn on our mic. During the exam, for instance. This is a present necessity. Same sentence. Let's use the same sentence referring to necessity, which expresses a future necessity. We must turn on our mic must turn on our mic on the 31st.
May I, doctor?
May I?
Do you notice the difference between the present necessity and the future necessity? When I added when I added the time expression that indicates the future time, رأسا اتحولت necessity about the future. If you just give a sentence referring to necessity about all time, we must wear light clothes in summer. Or we must register for neighborhood generator due to electricity cutout. So, and we mentioned that past necessity we don't need, because we don't have the past form of must, That's why we use have, and it's in the past form. Have to.
have to.
Of course, have to. بس احنا رح نخليها بالhad to in the past. We had to leave the country due to terrorism, for instance. Due to terrorism activities. Okay. Terrorism, yeah. So we had, for instance, in 2017, in 2014, we had to leave the country. Okay, that's in the past. Necessity, that was part of necessity. So who wanted to give me a sentence?
May I?
Okay, Mariam, go ahead.
In the future necessity.
Future necessity, okay.
She must go to her grandma on Thursday.
Okay, go to her grandma. Can say grandma like that. On Thursday. Okay, and she must go. يعني she has to. Okay. On Thursday, for instance, her grandma is sick, and she has to go to her grandma on Thursday. Who wanted to give a sentence?
Can I, Doctor?
May I?
Manar.
Can I?
Go ahead, Manar.
In the present, we must wear seat belt when we are driving.
Brilliant, brilliant. We must. By the way, this is all-time necessity. We must wear a seat belt when we drive. This is an all-time necessity, actually. Okay. Because it's not only now. Or for instance, your sister is driving now, and she's not wearing her seatbelt. You would say, you must wear your seatbelt. Now. Okay. Who wanted to give an example?
May I, Doctor?
Can I, Doctor?
Can I, Doctor?
Okay, Hajar.
Yes. In 2019, in the past.
The past, okay.
In 2019, people had to stay at home due to the pandemic.
Yeah. To stay at home due to the pandemic. Brilliant. Want to give an sentence, an example? Okay, Muhammad, let me save you. Muhammad Mariam, let me save you for the next point. Lack of necessity. You talk about lack of necessity, and you still have to do. All right. Let's say we can say. Anybody has a sentence? Anybody can help me?
Can I, Doctor?
Yeah, sure.
You mustn't make any sound in the library.
This is obligation. This is a necessity, but it's in the negative form. يعني لازم ما تسوي صوت بالlibrary. This is not يعني مو فشي مو لازم.
Okay, Doctor.
You mustn't.
Can I?
Can I?
Okay, go ahead. I want to.
Okay. Mariam Dilshad, doctor.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And she doesn't have to wear a jacket.
Yeah. يعني it's not obliged, it's not obligatory to wear a okay, we can say the employees do not have to work all all the week. يعني 7 days a week. Must
I
not
have a
work
sentence
7
now,
days.
Professor.
بس not حاطط في القارزة.
A second. Seven days a week. You don't have to work 7 days a week. Mohammed?
Yes, doctor. We say you don't have to you don't have to go to college on weekends.
Yeah. You don't have to go to the uni on the weekend. All right. Uni had an abbreviation for university. Okay. When we talk about abstention يعني الشيء انه لصالحك انه ما تسوي. You, for instance, mustn't participate in the next election so that you don't give the opportunity to steal your country again. It's a long sentence. So you must not participate in the next election. يعني لما فتشي هذا ضروري انه انت ما تشارك بالانتخابات يعني don't think that this is helping يعني encouraging you not to participate in the elections. This is just a sentence actually. Okay?
Okay, doctor.
You must not go out without wearing a face mask, for instance. You must
Can I
not. Yeah?
Sorry. Okay. We must not neglect our homework.
Yeah. Not neglect our, is it?
Homework.
Okay. We must not from a restaurant. Fine. Let's talk about deduction. Deduction, we mentioned that deduction is something which you are expecting. Deduction can be about the present. Deduction can be about future. And deduction can be about the past. And when we say about the present, either present situation or action, يعني something which is continuous. Like when we say the child is quiet. She must be sleeping. يعني you are thinking that she must be sleeping now, that's why she's quiet. Any idea?
Can I?
No sentence. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I smell something. The cake must be burning.
Okay, brilliant. I smell something. The cake be burning. Cool. Another sentence?
Doctor, can I ask about the meaning of deduction?
Yep.
يعني معناها الاستنتاج يعني مثلا for instance we have this sentence Miss Leo is frowning.
Yeah.
So our conclusion to her frowning is her hand must be aching.
Exactly. يعني شلون انه فشي خلي اطلع لك المينينج or that's could be clearer for you. Action. It's an action or deducting or subtracting something. The influence of what this is referring to general law. Just want this. I want something which is clearer. The act of taking away something such as an amount of money. No, it's not there. And it had two meanings. مرات عندها meaning, for instance, when they take money from your account. Okay, مرات يعني they deducted for instance 20 pounds from my account يعني قطعوا هذا المبلغ من مالتي الأكاونت. The process of using knowledge or information you have in order to understand something or form an opinion. Treasure will also make deductions. يعني مثل اللي شوف explicit in Arabic. For instance, this is the other meaning.
لا طلعتها بالعربي يقول أما إنه استخراج من كمية أو شيء يعني have or استدراك نتيجة الفعل أنت سويته يعني هاي.
Exactly. Yeah, just like it's just like a conclusion that you have. This conclusion can be either at the present time, the future, or in the present.
Okay, doctor.
About the past, making deductions. It means using evidence, making deductions, see conceptual connections. Or taking away. No, this is not for example, income as deduction. Finally, get the يقطعوها from the account. But the other one is the conclusion that you make or the opinion that you formulate using your knowledge to understand something or to form an opinion. Okay? So, deduction about the present time, we said that this can either be present activity or present situation or an action. When we talk about the deduction, future, okay, Smiths must be going on holiday next summer. Next summer, you are. It could be that they would go on a holiday. نستخدم ويا the future. Be going. Okay. Let's give another sentence.
Can I?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, at 7:30, you must be going to the airport.
Airport at 7. Yeah. You must be on your way.
You must be going. Yes.
Airport. Brilliant. Another sentence.
Can I?
Okay.
I feel cold. It must be going to snow.
Brilliant.
Right.
I feel cold. Must be going to snow. Or it's clouded. The sky is clouded. It must be going to rain. When we talk about that,
Okay.
can you give me your sentence?
Yes, doctor. Our teacher
In the past.
yeah, no, our future, about future.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Our teacher getting angry. She must be going to test us.
Is what our teacher is?
Is getting angry.
Okay.
She must be going to test us.
Yes. Must be going to test us or to make a quiz. The last one is the lecture about the past. It said that referring to the past must plus have plus been and the continuous. For instance, okay, you lost weight. You must have been on a diet. So we diet. That's why you lost weight now. Okay. Any other sentence?
Can I?
Okay.
I felt like you were there here. I must have been dreaming.
Felt sorry.
I felt like you were
Like
here.
what?
Like
Can't hear you.
were. Like you were.
I felt that you
Like
were
here.
scared.
Here.
Scared. Sorry.
Here.
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 Okay.
I must have been dreaming.
Okay. I must have been. Yeah.
You're
Dreaming.
right to have, doctor.
Yeah, I must. I must have been dreaming. I felt that you were here. يعني حسيت إنه أنت هنا. أنا I must have been dreaming that you've been here. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, go ahead. طبعا أنا أخذت من وقتكم. I'm really sorry about that. Every Monday I do that.
No, it's okay, doctor. Doctor, she must have been waiting for the rest.
Okay, all right. She must
Have been
have
waiting.
been waiting for the rest. Brilliant. Okay, that's all for today. Today we covered. طبعا أنا ردت أعطيكم some sentences, but unfortunately we don't have that time to do it. Today we talked about may and might. We explained the two meanings of may and might. We said that they give a permission. The permission can be about the future or the present time. We said that past permission, we don't need any modal verb. We also mentioned that they express conjecture. This conjecture can be about the present time, present activity, future conjecture, and past conjecture. All right? Then we moved to must, and in must there are different meanings. The first one is necessity. We also have this necessity can be at the present time, at the future, all time, at past necessity. Then we explained the lack of necessity, and we said that we don't need a modal verb to express lack of necessity. We also said that abstention can be expressed also using must. And finally, we talked about deductions. These deductions can be about the present time or the future, the past, and in each of them we use different forms to express deduction. Thank you very much, students. On Wednesday, we'll carry on with the other topics. طبعا احنا خلصنا المواضيع اللي هي الثقيلة الصعبة. بقية المواضيع راح تكون خفيفة علينا وسهلة أيضا استيعاب من المقاليد.
What about the exercise?
The exercises, I was thinking of making them like an assignment. تعرفون ليش؟ لأنه خاف ما يصير عندنا وقت إنه نغطي كل ال exercises at the end of the book, I mean at the end of the chapter. How about doing them like an assignment? يعني for instance exercises tell the class راح أخليكم highlight the ones that you need to do and send it to me as an assignment. Okay?
Okay,
حتى
doctor.
شنو بالبيت انتوا يصير عندكم sufficient time to do it during this week. Or at the end of the week احنا we are gonna pick some of them. That will be much better. حتى تاخذون opportunity to do all the points. Would that be okay with you?
Okay.
no problem.
Okay, doctor.
All right. Thank you very much, and I'm really sorry to take some of your rest time.
No, doctor.
Have a good day, doctor. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, doctor. Goodbye.
Thank you, Doctor. Goodbye.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
عفوا دكتورة. دكتور.
نعم حنين.
يس دكتور. دكتورة بس بشأن الحضور مالتنا يعني البارحة يعني لقيت إنه إحنا مطينا إنذار أني ورثا، وإحنا دكتورة يعني انضمينا متأخر وكنا نحاول ندخل للمحاضرات بس كان دي يرفض بسبب الإيميل الشخصي.
لا ما باعيني ماما أنا هذا القائمة الحضور اللي اعطيتها ما لها علاقة بالميت. الميت حضوركم واحد هذا وياي، بينما
بس
ذاك الحضور اللي بالكلاس اوكي. خلينا إذا نرجع لحضورك، خلي أرجع للقوائم اللي عندي. إيش وقت باشرتي بالدوام؟ مو من بداية السنة؟
لا دكتور، إحنا القرار بنا جاء متأخر عودة المرقنة يعني تقريبا نهاية الشهر.
أنا نفس
إيه دكتورة؟
إحنا بلشنا.
أعطوني القرار اللي إجاكم حتى أغير قائمة الغيابات اللي عندي.
أعتقد دكتورة 28/1
عندك
أعتقد.
عندك فد كتاب فد شيء يثبت هذا الشيء؟ أنتِ ورشا؟
يمست رنا، فيعني دكتورة إذا تحبين أتأكد منها وأدزلك إياها.
أكون ممنونة.
دكتور
حتى إذا هذه غير.
صدر يعني أسماءنا موجودة يعني من التاريخ موجود بيها من صدر، وإحنا أصلا 1 بلشت يعني بدت المباشرة مالتنا وياكم.
نعم. تعرفين بنتي إنه هذا البروجرام اللي عندي إنه شو يسوي؟ كل أسماء الطلاب اللي موجودين عندي يا يوم صار عنده ميسنج ويا يوم صار عنده اتندنس، يعني ما يبين انت شو وقت باشرتي بالدراسة. فلهذا السبب يعني هو البروجرام هو يحسب automatically. Do you know what I mean?
يس دكتور. وبخصوص الإيميل من دكتورة يعني إحنا هواية حاولنا ندخل في البداية وهم كان دا يرفض.
احنا بوقتها ضفناكم بالقوائم، يعني حتى لو ما كان عندكم ايميل رسمي بوقتها ضفناكم بقوائمنا كطلبة يعني على ايميلكم الشخصي. بعدين لما اخذتوا الايميل الرسمي ضفنا الايميل الرسمي وطلعنا الايميل الشخصي، فما اتوقع هذا له مشكلة. احنا تاريخ المباشرة هو اللي يلعب دور عندنا.
يس دكتور. يعني دكتور هسه اخذ يعني الكتاب مالتنا من سترنا وادزك اياه لو شلون؟
بس اريد بس اريد التاريخ على مود ابدي احذف الغيابات القديمة، تاريخ بالضبط اللي شو وقت انتم صار الامر عندكم، حتى احذف الغيابات السابقة.
تمام دكتور. ثانك يو دكتور، شكرا.
بنفس الشيء same with you رشا.
Yes دكتور, thank you very much.
most welcome.
عذرا دكتورة.
هلا وعلي.
دكتور عذرا بس أنا الإنترنت يصير عندي ضعيف من ورا
نعم.
12، فممكن تنزلي المحاضرة؟
Okay. Just want to save it on the YouTube. That's why it takes sometimes a while to save it on YouTube. Okay,
All right.
and I'm gonna send it.
الرابط اللينك أو الرابط.
Okay, no worries.
شكرا
مصر
جزيلا.
مصر كماني.